It's time for episode 17, Jesus' first calling of Andrew, John, and Simon Peter to begin. Let's join Pastor Kenny as he prepares his delicious cup of coffee before Bible study.
Hey there. Quick question. When was the last time you invited someone in your family to investigate Jesus' life and words? In today's narrative, Andrew, John, and Simon Peter will investigate Jesus when they meet him for the first time. I also want you to meet Uncle Leroy, who has an investigation of his own to make. Come and see.
Pastor Kenny sets off to Bible study with a jolly smile and what appears to be a lion.
As I drive to church, can you guess the flavored creamer in my coffee? I'm going to ask my good friend, Cuddles the cat, to give you the 4 flavor options. Mrs. Becca will translate for him. Okay, Cuddles?
1 sweet cream, 2 French vanilla, 3 coconut, or 4 a Burger Queen fry.
There's a lion in that car. Run for your life. What am I saying? I'm driving a car. I was driving a car. I think I need a doctor.
The answer is sweet cream.
That is one funny-looking cat, man.
After tidying up the sweet cream, Pastor Kenny prepares to begin the class with grace and gusto.
Who is Grace and Gusto? Are they new to the class?
Are you serious, young man?
No, ma'am. My name is not serious. It's Johnson.
Oh, well, I suppose I ought to stop breaking the fourth wall. Let's just get on with the class, shall we?
Hey, class. We're starting soon, so let's quickly tell each other about our week.
I had a great mystery happen to me.
What happened?
Late last night, I think it was 7, Mr. Cuddles, my cat, was not in my bed. You see, whenever I get into bed, he comes and bites me a few times. My mom said it's because he thinks I look like a mouse. Anyways, I heard someone speaking German downstairs last night, and something that sounded like disco music, so I went to investigate.
Young man, what are you talking about?
It's true, all of it. And I looked down the steps and saw my cat, Mr. Cuddles, singing in German, eating some spicy tacos, and dancing to disco music with Filbert's Uncle Leroy.
Are you sure about that, Johnson?
Yes. I saw them all wearing these tiny sombreros and doing the cha-cha like pros. When I asked Uncle Leroy how he got here, he said he followed the wonderful smell of spicy tacos to my house. That's how he found out about the secret dance party.
That sounds pretty wild, Johnson. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, how did Filbert's Uncle Leroy end up at your house anyways?
Well, Johnson told me about this dance party with my Uncle Leroy, which I found hard to believe, but Uncle Leroy is kinda special. I mean, Uncle Leroy loves spicy tacos and dancing with stuffed squirrels, but I doubt he would do it at Johnson's house.
So
I asked my grandmother to investigate, and she called Uncle Leroy to find out the truth. He's outside the classroom, so he can tell you.
Okay.
Hey, class, listen up. I'm Uncle Leroy, the local ice cream and sushi guy. You've seen my commercial selling Leroy's Lousy Lunches. Epic quality if you just overlook the smell. Talking about lousy, I'm also Filbert's uncle, you see? So, I did a real thorough investigation, right? Turns out, when Johnson heard that music, he starts peeping down the stairs. But get this, he tripped on an old broccoli toy or something, and he takes a tumble down them stairs. Bumped his noggin pretty good, and got himself knocked out cold. I guess while he was out, he must have dreamed the whole shebang.
Wait, I have a question?
Quiet, kid. I've no time for your worthless questions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so listen up. I never, ever danced with a cat named Mr. Cuddles who speaks German. Understand, I never ate tacos with a cat, or go to secret dance parties either. I gotta admit, that sounds pretty weird to an upstanding citizen like me. You know what I'm saying? I did have a dance party with a stuffed giraffe named Jeffrey at an old toy store, but that's old news. Well, gotta go. I'm selling some week-old sushi to the local pizza joint. I recommend ordering burgers and staying away from the pizza place. They have no class and the pizza stinks.
Well, thank you, Uncle Leroy.
Uncle Leroy is out.
It's kind of funny. In Johnson's story, and also in today's narrative on John, there will be claims that are met with questions and doubt. Johnson's claim about Mr. Cuddles was met with doubt, so we asked a bunch of questions. Likewise, when Andrew and John hear about Jesus being the Messiah, they have questions too. In both cases, there's an investigation. Uncle Leroy investigated the unusual events Johnson claimed to witness, and Andrew and John will investigate Jesus and his teachings to determine if he is truly the Messiah. In both stories, the truth is revealed through investigation and interaction with the people involved. Johnson's story is proven to be wrong by Uncle Leroy's colorful explanation, while Andrew and John's investigation of Jesus leads to their belief in him as the Messiah. So let's open up our Bibles and investigate Jesus together.
You left your coffee in the car, so I brought it in for you.
Thank you so much. Today's narrative can be found in the Bible, in John chapter 1. Please read this passage for yourself. The events in this episode happened around the year 26 AD in the land beyond the Jordan. Today's proverb is, investigate Jesus, then bring your family to him. It's time for the narrative. Let's learn. Remember how last episode ended? John the Baptizer was standing with two of his disciples named John and Andrew. Then Jesus passed by them, and John the Baptizer shouted, "Behold the Lamb of God." The two disciples were amazed because they had just seen the Messiah walk by with their own eyes. He was the one who was promised to come and save his people Israel. So, these two young men decide to walk behind Jesus, see where he is going, and investigate him. It must have been funny seeing these two young men, probably both awkward teenagers, walking behind Jesus. They do not come up and speak to him, no. They simply stay behind him. Jesus sees the two guys following him. They are like lost sheep looking for a shepherd. So Jesus stops, looks at them and says, "What are you looking for?" They say, "Rabbi," which means teacher, "can you tell us where you are staying?" Jesus says, "Come and see." So the three of them walk to a house where Jesus is staying at. These two young men are investigating Jesus to see if he really is the Messiah. After spending the day talking with him, they know that Jesus truly is the Christ, the Son of God. As soon as they leave the house, Andrew goes running to find his brother Simon. Both brothers work as fishermen. Andrew finds Simon and says, "We have found the Messiah." The word Messiah also means Christ. Simon is so excited that he goes with his brother to meet Jesus. Jesus meets with the brothers. He then looks at Simon and says, "You are Simon, the son of Jonah, but you will be called Peter." Jesus gives Simon a new identity. His new name is Peter, which means rock. You see, Jesus is the chief cornerstone, and Peter will be the rock which builds his life on Jesus, the cornerstone. Jesus invites Simon, Andrew, and John to a wedding in Cana. So the next day they start out on their journey to the wedding. Jesus' brothers, sisters, and mom will be there also. And who knows, maybe Jesus will do his first miracle there too. So, what can we learn from today's narrative? Well, today's proverb is, investigate Jesus, then bring your family to him. You see, Andrew was a wise man, and you should be like him. Why? Because he spent time with Jesus to understand his identity. You can spend time investigating Jesus' identity by reading the Bible. You see, after Andrew understood who Jesus was, he brought his brother to the Messiah. This would one day change the world. Peter would one day become the leader of the church, and he would become a rock built upon the foundation of Jesus, the chief cornerstone. Andrew's simple act of bringing his brother to Jesus would change history forever. You know, I challenge you to invite your family to meet Jesus by saying, "Come and see." Who knows? Maybe you'll be like Andrew and bring someone to Jesus who will change our world. So take today's proverb, turn it into a question, and ask yourself, do I investigate Jesus and bring my family to him? So, what happens next? Jesus is about to do his first miracle. But before he does, he is going to call 2 more young men to follow him. What are their names? Well, you can read about it in John chapter 1, or you can watch the next episode. However, the best option is to do both.
After Bible study is complete, Mr. Nathan steps outside to order some pizzas. Let's investigate.
Hello, buddy.
Oh, no, not you. This is Stream It Pizza. What can I get you today? We have a sale on sushi pizza.
I'll pass on that one. I'd like to order a sweet cream pizza.
That's not funny. First, Uncle Leroy sends me year-old sushi, which I still put on my pizza. And this mad genius orders a sweet cream pizza. What else could go wrong today? At least my business phone still has minutes, so I can receive other orders, if not my business.
This is the operator, and I'm sorry, but the party you were calling just ran out of minutes.
After the children had enjoyed their pizza and headed home, Pastor Kenny also drove back to his cozy house. Upon returning, a gentle satisfaction warms his heart, knowing that the seeds of faith had been sown in the young minds that day.
So, what did we learn today? You need to investigate Jesus and his words like John. I hope that you follow in John's footsteps by exploring Jesus' true identity through the Bible. The Bible is inviting you to come and see. Also, bring your family to Jesus like Andrew. Once Andrew understood who Jesus was, he brought his brother to the Messiah. In the future, Peter became a cornerstone of the church built upon the foundation of Jesus. Andrew's simple act of bringing his brother to Jesus had a world-changing potential. So, extend an invitation to your family to meet Jesus and simply say, "Come and see." And don't forget today's proverb, investigate Jesus, then bring your family to him.
In the wilderness, John proclaimed, Christ is coming, the Lamb ordained. John's ministry points the way to Jesus, the light of day. Lamb of God in waters nigh, identified by God Most High. Faced temptation, but he won. Ministry has just begun. Behold the Lamb who takes away every sin. In spirit and truth, worship and point to him. Called Andrew, John and Simon Peter, Philip and Nathaniel debuted. Did his first miracle in Cana, and he cleansed his father's house too. Soon Nicodemus he did preach, moved his ministry when John was impeached. Changed a woman in Sychar's land, healed a sick son by his command. Behold the Lamb who takes away every sin. In spirit and truth, worship and point to him. Takes away
somewhere near the bottom of the deep blue sea, near where a sailor went to sea.
I think I see it.
What is it?
Oh, I hope it's not some of Uncle Leroy's sushi. You know, the one that makes your taste buds go on strike? No, I don't think it is. It looks like, yes, it's a red lobster.
That title is copywritten, I believe.
You're right, I don't want to get sued. It's a lobster that's rojo. I learned that from Dora. Educational TV, Oh no, by the beard of Captain Ahab's gin.
What is it?
That's
Yar, me matey.